Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy, back with more cool and unique camp locations for you. And this week we're gonna just tie up some loose ends, show off a few more really cool spots. Now we're gonna start off with some locations that kinda let you live in town, which is pretty cool. I did get to see where someone had built here a little while back, and they had built an apartment building between this house and the garage. And it was pretty cool. I'll say that much. Now, there's not a whole lot going on here. You do get a tire swing, which is kind of cool. You get a fairly nice looking gazebo out back. But there's not really a whole lot of containers or anything that I could find that you could loot. But there's not really that many spots you can live in town either, so what's more important, living in town where there's a whole bunch of containers in the vicinity, or camping on top of a container? I do like the back porch area of this house though, just because it's not cluttered with a ton of stuff. There's only a few little crates on there, and you can easily work around it. But this is definitely a cool spot up near Sutton, which, hey, it won't be long and Fashnock will be back, putting you in a prime location to get some shoppers. Overall, pretty good spot. But now let's move on to a spot you've probably seen at least one person camping at in all your time traveling the wasteland. And this spot does have quite a bit more going on with it. You got a little bit of junk to loot, you've got some containers, and you also have a fair little amount of crops for you to pick up, which free crops are cool just because it's not taken away from your budget. But one really good thing about this spot is you're going to have a fair amount of low-level shoppers rolling through your area, which may be a prime opportunity to finally get rid of some of those 38 rounds. I know some people just walk around with a ton of them on their character, and there's not really a whole lot of people looking for them except for low levels. Well, there are some exceptions to the rule, but fairly good spot to set up and help out lower level characters as they start their adventures in the wasteland. But you are going to be in Flatwoods, so you got to worry about the tiny little things that can spawn here, which really, a handful of like level 1 ghouls, you've got that. Nothing to worry about. So it is a cool spot. It's not really one of my favorites, but I'm sure someone would like to camp there. Next up, we've got a spot that's actually, it's going to be two spots, but the first spot, not a whole lot going on, but you do get a really nice view overlooking Helvetia. Yeah, that's right, we're back up near Helvetia. I'm really pushing this whole camp near Fashnock for the event thing. I don't know how many people are going to do that, but honestly, if I'm going and running the event down in Helvetia and there's camps nearby it, I'm probably going to be checking out those camps. But I really love this wing over here. I just see some potential with it. I'm like, oh, I could do some cool stuff with that wing. Kind of use it as a roof or something. I don't know. I'm crazy. So I do all sorts of weird stuff with my camp with that. Now, the power pylon is a unique spot in and of itself. Good thing about it, animal spawn point. That lovely little firefly gave it away. And it gets better because this spot has you some ballistic fiber, and you know, it jangles the moon monkey that's just hanging out, smoking and drinking, just generally having a good time. And you do get one container, which is something. Really fairly decent spot thanks to the animal spawn. I mean, and who knows? I mean, maybe you're camping here and suddenly you'll have some kitty cats running through your house. Or maybe a rat stag. It's kind of hard to tell. Now, as for the location, of course, like I said, it is near Helvetia and lovely old Fashnock. And it is fairly well centered in the map. I mean, it's not quite out in Savage Divide, but pretty well centered. Now let's go from solid location to, ooh, this one's gonna hurt. Now, this spot does have a little bit of potential with it, but it's also going to be a fairly challenging build area due to all the random things that are going to be obstructing you as you're trying to build. Now up here you do have a couple of bot protesters. Now off to the one side there is this giant wall. Yeah, that wall. As soon as I saw that, all I could think of is, man, when you put some mounts up there, but it looked really good. And then I saw all the block the bot stuff, and my brain instantly went to, wait a minute, why don't we have, like, robot mounts? I'd love to, like, just stick an iBot on my wall, or a sentry bot head, something. And I thought about it even further. I was like, why can't I have, like, a super mutant head, or a super mutant behemoth head? And we're missing out on some really cool mounts. Of course, there's still a few that are locked that maybe we'll get them eventually. Hopefully through some awesome quest, but enough about that. I'm getting sidetracked. As for the location, I don't know. It's going to take a really specific type of builder to move down here and do that spot some justice. But they are going to be crammed way down in the bottom left of the map. The only way you get worse than camping in the bottom left of the map is camping in the bottom right of the map. So, I guess it could be worse. Now up to Whitespring, to a spot that a lot of people tend to overlook. And, I mean, it is easy to overlook unless you're actually paying attention and looking for it. There is a little cave here at the Whitespring that has a Yaogwai in it. It is a set spawn. So, I mean, if you gotta kill a Yaogwai for a daily, hey, he'll be right here, hopefully. Now, you can camp here. And yes, you might be a little bit crazy for doing it. Or, you just might be sadistic and building a trap camp to where people go and they get trapped with a Yaogwai. Ah ha ha. Now I've just promoted people being evil. I am ashamed of myself. Either way, Yaogwai. There is a little bit of junk in the vicinity, and you are at Whitespring, which is prime shopper territory, and prime your camp cannot be placed. So, you gotta weigh it. But the Yaogwai, it looks adorable while it's sleeping. Oh, look at it. It's so cute. There is a duffel bag down here that, for whatever reason, it wouldn't let me loot it. I don't know if it's the Yaogwai blocking my path, what it might be, but either way, pretty cool. Not many spots you can throw your camp down and, you know, be a complete butthole to the people that show up at your camp by trapping them with the Yaogwai and then they get murdered. Let's move on from that, because that just sounded horrible. So that's going to wrap up all of the locations, except I do have my map for you that I've been using to keep track of where I've been so I could avoid going back to the same location twice. Now, it's probably not 100% accurate, but here it is. How awesome is that? Now, I will be sharing this on my Twitter in the near future, and for those of you who don't know, it's the same as my YouTube channel. It's really easy. But I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been crazy. 50 episodes, it's insane. But I do have another cool and unique camp location that I kind of will be sharing next Monday when I show you my new camp. Which I guess you kind of got to see the location in the video if you were paying attention. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.